All right, so even though I'm slightly disappointed in my van paint, it is a little shiny, it needs to be sanded down, and it bums me out that it didn't come out better than it did. That's the way it goes. And so we're moving on to the next thing, which is our Messerschmitt KR200. And if you remember, I've driven this thing so much that I've balled the tire. I haven't been doing burnouts, but the tire has wore out in the back. And if I roll this around, you'll see that there's cords showing, and I don't like that. So I got myself a new tire, a trailer tire. It's rated for 530 pounds, I think. 4-ply. It's the same tire that's on there, but this one has tread, which is unusual because it's got more tread in the center than it does on the outside. I don't know why more tread on the shoulders than on the center. And it looks a little funny, but hopefully once inflated, it'll be good. 480 by 8 is the size of tire we're dealing with here. So I'm going to jack this up and see if I can wiggle that out. Okay, we're a little further along here. We got the back of our Messerschmitt jacked up. We're looking at our 6-inch brake drum. I'm going to take that off in a second once I get the screws out. Check the brakes. These are cable actuated brakes. And that is what the hub assembly looks like. It's the chain case drive mechanism. You see the brake cable coming out the top there, and it's pretty far adjusted. I did put new shoes in years ago. I'm going to check them out. And then we've got our tire off, and I promised to show you the cords sticking out, and there they are. They look a little silvery in the light, so we got to get that off there before it pops. And let's get the brakes off and take a look. Okay, so I used my Harbor Freight tire breaker and was able to gently break the bead off of the split rim. Got the nuts off, and I think it'll come apart now. Yeah. So that's half the wheel. The other half is here. Now I just got to get that unstuck and swap it over to the new tire. Okay, it's kind of the theme of my day. So, a couple things. This split rim, when I started tightening it up, I broke one of the bolts on my split rim. This rim is the only wheel in the back of the car. It needs to have secure bolts. The bolts are welded to the wheel. I've got to figure out how to drill that out and replace it, or get a new rim half. And to top it off, when I put together, I pinched my tube not just one time, but 2 times, and it looks like this is wearing thin here from where the seam is. It's kind of been rubbing, and that's a weak spot on this tube. I have a spare tube that came with the car from 1950 something. I don't think I want to use that tube. I gotta buy a new tube. I gotta fix my wheel. I'm not happy. Alright, you can't tell because I'm petting my dog, or she's demanding be petted. But I'm finishing up on my project here, the Messerschmitt project, with our rear tire. Stella, you gotta let me go. You gotta quit licking me in the face. Crazy dog. Chew. Okay. I'll take you for a walk a little later. Okay, my dog was bothering me. She had the zoomies, needed lots of attention, and has constantly left her hair all over my wheel. So this is my Messerschmitt rear tire. This is my old one, and if you look at the tread right here, where the cords are showing, it's really thin. You can easily pick up a nail or a rock and poke that, and I don't typically carry a spare, and I don't think you'd want to change the rear tire on a 3-wheel Messerschmitt out in the wild. So I got a new tire, and last week I started to put it in. I popped the tube and I stripped out the bolt. So we have counteracting weights now with the valve stem and a new bolt. I drilled it out, put a new bolt in there. It's not a press-in stud. I'm going to polish the wheel up, touch it up a little bit, deflate it, and put it back on the car. I'll show you how to do that in a second. You really think I was doing burnouts or something? All right, so our tire is ready to go back on to our Messerschmitt. I don't remember where we left off, but I think we were talking about the rear brakes. I was able to adjust them. They are cable brakes. Where my finger is here is how you adjust them. You can see it's at the very end of its adjustment. But these are the shoes that are in the drum. The drum is, what is it, 4.5, 5 inches? Brakes on a Messerschmitt are 4.5 inches drum. Most Chevrolets are 11, 10, something like that. Just to give you a little perspective. So we're going to put that drum back on there, like that. And now I just going to let the air out of the tire and see if I can fit that back up in there, and we should be good. Get all that air out of there. Okay, now we're just going to squeeze this up in here. And how's it going to go? I think I got to jack it up more. Something like that. It's got to squeeze up in there. Okay, so we got our wheel all polished up. Lug nuts are torqued. White walls are on. Fender's polished. Brake is adjusted. A lot going on back here. So now we just got to set her back down on the ground and take her on an adventure. When are we going to do that?